is the Louie T Network.
Louie T Live. That, my friends, is what you call getting drunk off your success. Shame on me. But don't worry, your man Louie T is back like cook crack in week number 2. And guess what? I'm coming for every single one of you ass clowns. Better tighten up.
Who else could it be? Me, your me, Louie T. Welcome to Winners and Losers, my weekly pick'em show here on the Louie T Network, where all I do is win, 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 no matter what. And we let the losers worry about losing. Week 2 edition. Week 1 went so-so for the good guy. We'll talk about that here in a second. I appreciate every single one of you for joining me tonight. And I thank even those who weren't able to join me but watch this on playback. Thank you for joining me tonight. Special thanks to all of you who sent picks. And what we're going to do for those who have sent picks in is this is going to be an accumulation of your picks. Kind of want you to get into that mindset of sending me picks every single week. Most of you are regulars. You've done this before. You know how this goes. So I don't have to explain this to you, but it'll be a little bit different this year because, like I said, it's an accumulation of picks. I want you to get in the habit of sending the picks in every single week. This needs to be something that you become accustomed to so that when we switch formats next year and this thing blows up, you will already be used to doing what you're supposed to do, which is turning your picks before the Thursday night game. So with that being said, week 1 was a little wacky. I'm not going to lie to you. It always is. Week 1 and week 17 are probably the 2 most unpredictable weeks in all of football. Week 1 because you don't know anything, and really you still don't know anything after 1 week of football. It's the most misleading week of all. And then week 17, of course, none of the games, or I shouldn't say none, most of the games don't have playoff implications. A lot of the teams have packed it in already, so you don't know who's playing hard and who's still going out trying to get W's, who's saving themselves and resting players for the playoffs. You get this. I don't have to explain it, but in any event, yeah. Week 1 was a little rough for some of you. And on this program, you know how it goes. Either you're, you know what I liken it to? You remember the old Nerf commercials with the white kid that at the end would always go, "It's Nerf," and he'd always make the hardest face. "It's Nerf or nothing." Remember those commercials? Same premise here. Okay, on the Louie T Network, on Winners and Losers. Either you got double digits or you got nothing. Okay? That's how it works here, man. Either you got double digits and you won, or you didn't and you lost. And I don't care if you went 9-6. Okay, oh, I just missed it. You know what's funny to me? My man BE hit me up. Second Monday night game. And this is when I knew. I said, this sounds like a man. He said, hey, since the Buccaneers and Dolphins game got canceled, everyone should get a win for that game. No, everyone doesn't get a win for that game, BE. That's not how it works. That's how it works out in the little kid soccer league where everybody gets a juice box and a trophy and a bag of chips after the game. That's not how it works here, okay? I said, that sounds like the plea of a man that's 1 game away from double digits. And when I went back and looked at the picks, wouldn't you know it, my man BE was 9-6. And I said, boy, that sounded like a man desperate for double digits. You got to go and get it, man. Ain't nothing going to be given to you here on this show, and you know this, man. And you also know that if you lose, you're going to hear about it. If you win, you're going to hear about it. But either way, you're going to hear about it. So if you send me those picks, You got to be ready, willing, and able to back up what you put down on that channel, on that description discussion box, because there are repercussions for bad picks. All right, with that being said, let's take a look at what everyone did in week number 1 in the National Football League here on Winners and Losers. So, we're going to start, of course, with the winners. Duh. Okay, that's what we do here on this program, is we focus more on the winners. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Winning. Duh. Okay? So, we let the losers worry about losing. We'll get to them a little bit later on. Let's talk about the guys that won. And I always start with the guys that won the biggest because, again, that's what it's all about. That's the name of the game. Winning, my friends. You either win or you lose. You either come in first or you don't. And so I'm going to start with a couple of guys who lit it up in week 1. And I set the bar pretty high at 11-4. Unfortunately, not many people made it to that bar. I didn't make it to that bar. But nonetheless, double digits gets you on the winner's side of this bracket. And anything less is uncivilized and goes over to the loser side of things. So we start with my man, and he's dangerous. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the guy I've got my eye on because it seems like he's right around that 9 to 11 win mark every single week. I remember there was a stretch last year where he couldn't get to 10, but he was at 9 like every week. And of course, I'm talking about my man, Andrew Kim, a.k.a. AK. And my man, AK, came with a strong 11-4 in week 1. Of course, he was tied for first with another guy that is a regular on this program. Haven't talked to him in quite a while, but it's good to know he's around. He's probably lurking, and I love this guy. My man, also holding it down with an 11-4 mark this week. So these are your 2 premium top of the crop winners this week, coming in at 11-4 with their picks. No one was better than these 2 here on Winners and Losers. So these boys took care of business. These are the guys we'll be chasing next week when we get to the overall standings, because like I said, you send these picks every week. It's cumulative. So again, I shouldn't have to explain that, but for some of you, that's a big word, cumulative. So it's cumulative, which means we're going to add them up each and every single week. So 11-4 this week. If you go 10-6 next week, that's a total of 21-10. Okay? You get the picture. You get my drift. You send the picks in. We keep adding them up and adding them up. And at the end of the season, we'll see who has the best record. If you miss a week, guess what? You don't get credit for that week. So don't miss a week. How about that? Right? All right, but those weren't the only winners. Okay, there were more double-digit getters in week number 1. A newcomer. I've never seen this guy's name before. Maybe he changed his name, or maybe he's just new to the program. Nonetheless, he came in and represented first week. Jake Seelig coming in at 10-5. So that's another winner for you in week number 1. Jake Seelig coming in at 10-5. Strong first week for Jake Seelig, as well as my man Brown Shoe T2, also coming in at 10-5. His Cincinnati Bengals didn't get it done in week 1, but that didn't stop him from putting up double-digit victories in week number 1 here on Winners and Losers. You go to the next big winner in week 1 here on Winners and Losers, and it's a guy named Big John, 64-58. Big John coming in at 10-5. As well. So Big John, an Atlanta Falcons fan, his boys came dangerously close to having him slide under that double-digit line, but they got it done, and so did Big John. He comes in with a 10-5 mark and finds himself atop the winning circle, and so he comes in at 10-5 on the winning side of things in week number 1. And last but not least, they tried to hold me down, man. But I said, hey, man, let me get in. All I do is win. Of course, your man, Louie T coming in with a 10-5 mark. I'm not proud of this 10-5. I'm not bragging about 10-5. I set the bar at 11-4 and I didn't hit it. But it's double digits. You know, that's what I do. Okay, so it's okay. Drunk a little bit of wine. You saw that. I got drunk off the success of last season. And I came out a little sloppy, a little shaky. And I had some cats. See, this is why you always have to double check and verify. I had some people trying to tell me that I went 9-6. I didn't know. I hadn't looked back at the picks. I said, it sounds about right. I lost a ton of games. I felt like I lost every game at the 1 o'clock hour, okay? I felt that way, but I didn't, okay? I only lost 5 games. So it's okay. I'll get better. And I look at it like this. I'm only 1 game out of first place. I'll be in first overall next week because my man Andrew Kim, my man Hawk, they're going to slip up. You know why they're going to slip up? Because those guys, well, I can speak for Andrew Kim. He probably thinks his Ravens team is really, really good and he's going to keep picking them. And the defense is really, really good, but I'm not sold on that offense. And I don't know who they're playing this week, but they're probably playing someone that can actually score a single point in the game, which will make it tough on them. And so anyway, I'm going to catch up to him. Hawk is a Redskins fan. I don't know what he's going to do with this picks this week, but in any event, I'm going to catch up. You best believe that. But in any event, those are your winners. Everybody on that side of the bracket, stand up. Standing ovie for you guys. Feel good. Pat yourself on the back. You're in the winner's circle this week. But it's all about consistency here on winners and losers. Okay? So don't get excited. Don't feel like you've arrived because you can easily find yourself on the right side of this thing next week. So with that being said, let's move on over to the losers. And they need acknowledgement too. They want a hug too. They want a trophy. Fine, they can have a trophy. It's a loser trophy. We call it the piss cup. So they can get a little bit of the piss cup. So let's go to that side of things and let's start running off names. Start with my man Sean Mack. The Mack Attack. 9-6. Just missed it. You know how the announcer in baseball says, just a little outside. Well, it's still not a damn strike, right? Still a ball. Same thing here. Just a little outside. Just a little outside the winner's circle. Still a loser. Doesn't matter. 9-6. And I love my man Sean Mack, but got to get it done. Got to get it done. Corj Novi. Also, 9-6. Not bad. Not bad at all. But not good. Not good enough to get you on the right side of things, or as I like to say, the left side of things. The winning side. All right. Squints 1. Also, 9-6. And you see Squints 1? You see how you got to squint to see these names on the loser side? That's what we do to losers. We make their name nice and small, so you got to squint like you got to squint for Squint 1's 9-6. That's what we do to them. We disrespect losers here on the Louie T Network. Because all we do is win. No matter what. Find a way to get it done. No excuses. My man AP9K. 9-6. Just missed it. But, as I've already mentioned, almost doesn't count. Almost doesn't count. Wise woman once told me that. Best advice I've ever gotten from her. Almost doesn't count. Moving right along. Aaron McCain. 9-6. Damn. Close, but no cigar. Aaron almost got it done, but he didn't. Just like Aaron almost got the Green Bay Packers to the Super Bowl last year, but he didn't. Kind of like that. Dark Fears Fire Gaming. 9-6. Close, but he's still in the dark. You need 10 to actually step into the light. So step your game up. Zen Day Co. 9-6. So hell no. You're not a winner. Moving right along. I told you that my man, well, I spoke too soon. Protect 428. He's usually on the winning side of things, but he slipped up. It's week 1. It happens to the best of us. Okay? Well, okay, let me take that back. Not to the best of us. That would be including me. Happens to the best of you guys. It's okay. It's only week 1. You can make up for it next week and the week after that and the week after that. 9-6. I don't know what to say. It's not 10. I'm sorry. Okay? I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want me to say. BE, my man Brian Emerson was begging, can we get the extra win? How did I know BE was 9-6? You can't pull one over on old Louie T here, man. I knew it the minute he said that. The first thing that popped in my mind was, this man must be 9-6 and he wants 10 so bad. BE, you gotta go and get 10-6. No one's gonna give you anything. Much like your Arizona Cardinals, no one's gonna give you a win. You gotta go take it. Gotta go take it. Eduardo O'Neal, 9-6. His Lions got it done. That's a good thing, right? But he didn't get it done. So, need him to step his game up and get to double digits. We'll see if he can do that next week. Carmen Rana, my man Carmen Rana, 8-7. So now we're going kind of down. We're going down. We're going down. Because these picks ain't around, baby. 8-7 for my man Carmen Rana. And Carmen is one of those dudes, he's extremely streaky. He'll drop a 13-3 on your skull. He'll hit you with a nice 9-7. Or he'll drop a dud on you, a 7-9. You just never know what you're going to get from Carmen Rana. 8-7, first week. As a wise man once said to me, not very good. Not very good at all. 8-7, not very good. Slump, my man Slump, probably picked his damn Chargers. And when you pick your team and they don't win, and you pick a bunch of other teams that don't win, you're 8-7. So I would call that a little bit of a slump, wouldn't you? 8-7, slump? Get it? Forget it. You don't get it. Well, it's not technically a slump. It's only 1 week, right? We'll see what he does next week. We'll see if he can break out of his slump. I cracked myself up, man. Let me stop. Teddy Rochlis, 8-7. Come on, Teddy. Come on, Teddy. 8-7. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Tighten up. Tighten up. All right, we're getting a little worse now. We go from the 8-7s to Alex McWee. Not fun. No wee. 7-8. That's not fun. That's below the Mendoza line. It's not fun at all. Alex, I need you to be much better than this, okay, brother? Much better. Now, I would absolutely crucify you, but there is someone that actually did worse than you. But don't take solace in that, okay? You still finished under the damn Mendoza line, okay? Don't be proud of yourself for having someone do worse than you. Do better, okay? And as a wise woman once told me, you know better, so then do better. It's no longer week 1. No more excuses. Sure, you may not know who's good and who's not. I don't care. You know better. Now you must do better. 7-8. No. 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 And finally, boy, my man B.A. Yikes. See how low he is? You see how low he is down on the totem pole? We put him all the way down and separate him from everybody else because he's stinks. His picks stink. Put him all the way at the bottom, down in the dungeon with the dragons and the sewer rats. 6-9. Ouch! Ouch! Hey, it's not safe to go down there. That's why I separated him from everybody else. He's down in the corner by himself, in the reflection chair, in timeout, thinking about those bad, horrendous, horrible picks. BA had a horrible, he had a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day making picks. I assume he'll be better next week. As most of you other guys will be better next week. I'm assuming. That's all I can do is assume. But you know what they say about people who assume? You know what they say. Anyway, let's get to this week's picks, shall we? I think we should go ahead and do that. And just like last week, I haven't even looked at the games yet. I have to stop doing this, okay? If I want to be better than 10-5, I have to look at these games ahead of time and make a sound decision. I may go back and forth on a couple of games, but I need to sit down and analyze these games and make sound selections. I don't want to end up like BA, 6-9. Okay? That's what happens when you commit irresponsible acts. You go 6-9. You go 7-8. Like Alex McWee. Except that's not fun. So I need to be better. I need to take a look at these picks sooner. And I vow to do that. But in any event, we're here. Picks are in front of me. I'm just going to do it like I did it last week, okay? So let's do that. Let's get to this exercise in picking picks, or as I like to say, picking winners, because that's what I do. Now, before I get started, look, if you're watching this video and you're like, man, this looks like fun, I want to do it. Or you're like, I'm a little scared. He's killing people for making bad picks. Either way, send me your picks. I promise, if you make good picks, I won't pick on you. I promise. If you make bad picks, I will kill you and your picks. Okay, that was harsh. I won't kill you. I'll kill your picks. Fair? If you don't want your picks criticized, don't send the picks. You're more than welcome to watch. Everybody likes watching a train wreck, right? Right. So don't act like you're too good for the car accident on the side of the road and you're over there rubbernecking as you drive by. Come on, man. Everybody likes to see a wreck. Now, you don't want anybody to get hurt, but you do want to see how the hell did that car manage to flip that way, turn upside down, and how the hell did they manage to get out of that car? Come on, stop. Don't act like you've never done it. All right. So we start on Thursday. Boy, this is a funky game. Funky. One team didn't score. The other team changed quarterbacks at halftime. Combined, these two teams scored 7 points last week. The Texans don't even know who they're starting at quarterback this week. So, you know what I need to do? I need to change this. That's so last week. Let's get that right. Texans don't even know who they're starting at quarterback this week. And they're on the road, but they normally beat Cincinnati. They normally beat the Bengals. The Bengals were so bad last week, so bad. And their offensive line is so bad. And J.J. Watt and Clowney and Merciless, they're foaming at the mouth to go get them some. Brian Cushing just got suspended 10 games. I don't know if that even matters, though. I lost the Thursday night game last week, but I bounced back. You know, every time they try to throw me down on the ground and keep me down, I bounce up like round ball. I don't trust Cincinnati, boy. That offensive line is so damn funky. I'm going with the Texans, man. Damn that. Even though Cincinnati's at home and they should bounce back in week 2, I can't do it, man. They look so bad. They look inept. And I think they're going to start Deshaun Watson, and I think he's going to do some things, and he's going to help them win a game on the road against Cincinnati. Give me the Texans in that game. I might regret that. I probably will. If I do, that's fine. I'm taking the Texans. My gut says go with the Texans. That's what I'm going to do. Let's go to Sunday. Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. Boy, the Browns, they hung tough last week. But this ain't that. This is one of the best defenses in the league in Baltimore. And you're in Baltimore. They're going to confuse the young fella Kaiser. They're gonna turn him over at least twice, possibly upwards of 3 or 4 times in this game. I don't think their offense is ready to score, but they probably won't have to because the defense is going to help them out like they did last week. I'm going to take the Ravens in that matchup to go to 2-0 on the season, and more importantly, 2-0 in the division. Buffalo Bills at Carolina Panthers. Sean McDermott going back home to Carolina, the place where it all started for him in terms of his ascension to head coaching status. Was a coordinator with the Carolina Panthers for about the last 5 or 6 seasons. Did a hell of a job in Carolina, which prompted him to get an opportunity in Buffalo. That being said, the Panthers offensively, they don't scare me at all. But that defense looks like they're back in full effect. Shady McCoy, dangerous. And I think you can run on the Panthers defensively, believe it or not. I think you can run on them. I think you can have some success. And it seems like the Bills run on everybody. But the one guy that I don't think is going to be running a lot in this game is Tyrod Taylor. And I think Cam Newton going to be a week healthier. I still don't like the way he looks. But I think they have enough at the crib, defensively and offensively, to find a way to get it done. I'll take the Panthers at the crib to take down the Buffalo Bills and give them their first loss of the season. Arizona Cardinals at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are bad, man. Boy, are they bad. And I don't know who's starting this game. I'd like to think that if Jacoby Brissett starts, he'll give them a better opportunity, but he can't know but so much of the playbook, right? You don't want to go back to what you saw last year from Mean Green Scott Tolzien. Nobody wants to see that again. Boy, that's bad. I'm not sold on Arizona. I'm not hype on the Cardinals. And no David Johnson makes me worry even more because I don't like Carson Palmer. With that being said, their defense is good enough to go in there and cause havoc, create turnovers, and win that game. They almost won in Detroit. They were leading 17-15 in the fourth quarter. I suspect they should be able to do much of the same versus Indy, but this time seal the deal in the fourth quarter. I'll take the Arizona Cardinals. That's 2 road teams. You know I'm not comfortable with a bunch of roadies, but I am comfortable making that decision. I'll take the Arizona Cardinals on the road to get back to 1-1 on the season. Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Boy, that's a statement game. And as you can see up on the graphic, are y'all serious or no? Jacksonville, you serious? Is this you, or was that one of those week 1 mirages? You think you see something, you run all the way over there, and it's nothing but sand. So was that performance last week legit? Is this who you are this year? Are you going to be playing top-notch D, creating turnovers, running the football, pounding teams into oblivion, and telling Blake Bortles, hey, man, just don't turn it over, bruh. Just don't turn it over. Is that who you are? Is this real? I don't know. I don't believe you. You need more people. Going with the Tennessee Titans, I'm probably going to regret this, but I don't believe this until I see it consistently. I think the Jags just hit us with some of that week 1 magic that happens from time to time. A team gets off to a nice little start. I'll tell you what, they got confidence now, something that they've been lacking in Jacksonville in early seasons, okay? This is a team that generally doesn't win their first game until week 8, week 9, somewhere along those lines. They're usually one of the last teams to win a game. This could be a confidence boost that gives them a chance to go home and beat Tennessee. And if they do that, they'll make a believer out of me. Especially if they do it, and it doesn't have to be in the same fashion in terms of dominating 29-7. But if they do it defensively, if they do it with the ground game that's dominant, and Blake Bortles doesn't turn it over and they win the football game 19-10, 19-13, 20-13, I'll be sold. I will be sold. But I'm not sold right now. And I told you, I still think the Tennessee Titans are actually really good this season. They lost to a good Raiders team at home. I'm looking for them to bounce back. I'll take the Titans. Boy, I'm living dangerous. 3 out of my first 5 games are roadies. Don't like it at all. But it bees like that sometimes. You go to the next game. Eagles at Kansas City Chiefs. Another one of these teams that I'm asking, hey, you for real? You serious or not? That was impressive by the Eagles. It was sloppy, but it was impressive, and it was a dub. On the road versus the Redskins, a team that had beat them 5 straight times. Now, can you take that act on the road and beat a team that's probably got the most confidence of any team in the league right now after their utter destruction of the New England Patriots in Foxborough on Thursday night? I don't see it happening. Arrowhead's one of the toughest places to play in the league. And the Eagles simply can't make the type of mistakes they made last week versus the Redskins and think they're going to get away with that. I can tell you this, the Chiefs aren't going to turn it over 4 times. I expect the Chiefs to go home, take care of business, go to 2-0 on the season, and continue this hot start to the season. I'll take the Chiefs at the crib over the Eagles. Patriots at Saints. The Saints look like they might be just a smidge better on defense. Not much, though. Sam Bradford carved those boys up. Drew Brees and that offense still looks like they're trying to figure things out. Adrian Peterson wants more touches. They got 3 backs. They don't know what to do with all of them. That could turn into a mess in itself. I know this much. It's rare that the Patriots lose 2 games in a row. They're pissed off at what just happened. Now, we could be seeing the beginning of the end. Who's to say? They made a ton of offseason moves. I already told you they're going to figure it out. And they start figuring things out here in week 2 on the road in the Superdome versus the Saints. Again, another road team. I'm scared right now, okay? I probably shouldn't have picked Tennessee. I probably shouldn't have picked Houston. I've picked too many road teams. Yet again, I'm picking another one. Give me the New England Patriots to bounce back in week 2 and get back to their winning ways on the road versus the New Orleans Saints. Minnesota Vikings at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This might be the game of the week. Here, 2 1-0 teams, 2 teams that one looked dominant in their win, the other not so much, but a lot of their veterans didn't play in the preseason. And when you don't play in the preseason, these things tend to happen. And again, when it's family business, you know how the family do it. So it was a close game, but it's family business. That happens. All I know is I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and I say, look, I think they're one of the best teams in the league. Okay? Point blank. Are the Vikings one of the best teams in the league? Maybe. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But I do know this. I do think the Steelers are one of the best teams in the league. And because of that, if you're one of the best teams in the league, you have to beat other good teams in the league to make that distinction. To be able to say, I'm one of the best teams in the league, you got to beat other good teams in the league. And because I feel like the Steelers are one of the best teams in the league, they're going to beat a good team at home in the Minnesota Vikings. I'll take the Pittsburgh Steelers at the crib to get it done. Doesn't have, much like last week, I said the same exact thing. Doesn't have to be pretty, just needs to be gritty and a dub. I expect them to find a way. Le'Veon Bell will be much better than he was in week 1, where he looked rusty. He looked like a guy that wasn't in football shape. He'll be better in week 2. Tough to run on this Vikings defense. I figure they'll figure it out and get it done. The Bears. Chicago Bears taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers didn't play in week 1 due to Hurricane Irma. And because of that, We don't know what this Bucks team looks like. We do know the Bears played the Falcons as tough as you can play a team and not win the football game. Literally came down to the final snap of the game. That being said, that was at home. This is on the road. Now, I will tell you this. If the Buccaneers think they're just going to show up, the Bears are going to lay down, and they're going to get a W, they're sadly mistaken. If they come out, they execute, Jameis Winston is kept upright, and he's able to deliver the football to all of the riches that he has, the abundance of riches that he has at the skill positions, they'll be just fine. If they don't protect him and the Bears start teeing off on Jameis Winston, and all of a sudden that defense is on the field a ton and the Bears are controlling the pace of this game, the Bears could easily go into Raymond James Stadium and come out with a W. That being said, I'm taking the Bucks at the crib to win this game. If they're serious about having a season, I'm not disrespecting the Bears because you know how I feel about John Fox and these Bears. But you got to beat the Bears at the crib. Simple as that. I'm taking the Bucks to do exactly that in week number 2. Miami Dolphins at the Los Angeles Chargers. Dolphins also didn't play in week 1. The Chargers, however, did. A nail biter in Denver. They came up on the short end of the stick there. But this is a very competitive Chargers team that has lost to the Dolphins, 2 years in a row? Both of those games, however, in Miami. This game is going to be in Los Angeles. And I believe the Chargers are primed for a victory over this Dolphins football team. Jay Cutler, new quarterback, new system, different team in Miami. Their first game because they also didn't play in week 1 due to Hurricane Irma. I like the team that did play in week 1 here. The home team, the Chargers. Give me the Chargers to defend their home turf in week 2 over the Dolphins. Jets at the Oakland Raiders. The Jets actually didn't perform that bad in week 1, but it was family business. And like I said earlier with the Browns and the Steelers, you know how the family do it. Those games are genuinely close, okay? They're generally close in nature because the teams know each other. The Jets aren't in the same division with the Raiders. The Raiders are going home for the first time. They feel good after going on the road and beating a tough Titans football team. I think they're going to go home and handle business the way that they're supposed to against an inferior Jets football team. Much like I just told the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you plan on having yourself a season, you can't lose at home to the likes of the Jets. And yes, that was a form of disrespect. Beat the Jets at home. Everybody else is going to do it. You need to do the same. I'm taking the Raiders in that game. Dallas Cowboys at the Denver Broncos. This is another one of those games I'm not all too comfortable with. I don't really know what to do here, to be honest with you. The Cowboys didn't look all that great on offense, but Zeke Elliott looked excellent, okay? The Broncos didn't look all that great on offense, but I think they're capable. The Broncos defense didn't look too bad, but I think you can run on them. The Cowboys defense didn't look like anything because the Giants looked so bad. Maybe I should give the Cowboys credit for making them look bad, but in any event, I still don't know what that Cowboys defense is all about. I don't know if they can go on the road and beat this Denver Broncos team. I know they're capable, but I don't trust them to do that. Not yet. I think they can force some mistakes out of young Trevor Siemian. I think the Broncos can force some mistakes out of young Dak Prescott. I don't know. Should be a great game. One that I'll be glued to the television watching at 4:25. In any event, I've already picked enough road teams. I'm not comfortable going with another one here. It wouldn't shock me if the Cowboys win this game. In fact, they probably will win this game, but I'm not picking them to do so. I'm taking the Denver Broncos to protect their house and find a way to win that game. And I think Von Miller could have a huge day versus La'el Collins. That'll be a matchup worth watching very, very closely in week number 2. Watch the Redskins at the Los Angeles Rams. Damn. My boys didn't look too good last week, man. 4 turnovers. Not very good. Not very good at all. Kirk Cousins. Not very good. Not very good at all. And that was against the Eagles front that they're pretty good. We're going up against a Rams front that's damn good. And they get Aaron Donald. Never, ever trust a man with 2 first names back. Now, they still got Jared Goff at quarterback, and he looked good. But the Colts were so bad. The Redskins are improved defensively. And yeah, they did generate a couple of turnovers, and they did get some pressure on Carson Wentz. He was just special. If they get the same type of pressure on Jared Goff, I think you could see a different result. That being said, I don't trust my boys on the road against that defense. Even though I fully expect us to win, I'm not picking us to win. You can't do what you did last week and expect me to just jump on board and be a homer. Oh, we're going to bounce back in week 2. Hell no. Picking the Rams. I've already picked enough road teams this week. I will take a loss gladly here. Trust me. Even if this is the decisive win that drops me below double digits, I will take the L. But I will not allow my team to make a fool out of me. Won't happen on my watch. Taking the Rams. Prove me wrong. 49ers and Seahawks. Seahawks. No explanation needed. No family business speech needed to be given here. Seahawks. Home, win. Done. Packers. Falcons. Sunday night. Sunday. Damn, if that ain't a good ass game. Rematch of the NFC Championship game. First game in the brand new Falcons Stadium. Get the tea. Should be fun. Falcons didn't look all that good last week. But then again, neither did the Packers. Difference was the Packers played the Seattle Seahawks. The Falcons played the Bears. Difference though, Packers are at home. Falcons were not. A little bit of a role reversal now. Falcons go home. Packers go on the road for the first time this season. And I was surprised at the Packers' defense. They looked much better. Granted, the Seahawks' offensive line stinks, which made it a lot easier for the Packers to cause havoc and make things rough on Russell Wilson. Mr. Wilson! Falcons' offensive line, a lot better. Now, they had their own set of struggles. They had a guard that had some issues in week 1. So you're telling me there's a chance? I am. And you know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Come on, man. You know those my boys. You know that's my boy. But I'm not picking them to go on the road, open up another stadium for the second year in a row on Sunday night in week 2 and win. They didn't do it last year with the Minnesota Vikings. They won't do it this year versus the Atlanta Falcons. You know the story. I already picked enough road teams. Give me the Falcons at the crib to protect the house. Even though Chick-fil-A won't be open on Sunday, the Falcons end zone will be. Give me the Falcons at the crib to get it done. And finally, Detroit Lions at the New York Giants. This game sucks because I don't know if Odell Beckham Jr. is going to play. Shame on you if you step to the old dirty Beckham. Is ODB playing? If he does, what percentage is he? He almost played against Dallas, which leads me to believe with another week in the pink room, he'll be ready to rock and roll come Monday. And you get an extra day off just to add to that man coming back. They need him. The offense looked horrible. Lions defense, they looked opportunistic. We'll call it that. Thought the run defense was outstanding, but guess what? The Giants don't run the football, so that's not going to benefit them in this game. The Giants do throw it, though, and I think you can throw it on this Lions defense. Problem is, if you make mistakes, they will pick you off. They will make you pay. After watching the Giants on Sunday Night Football last week, the confidence right now is at 0, buddy. I look at this Lions team and I say, you won 10 games. What'd you win? 9 games last year? Should have won the division. What'd you win? 9, right? 9? Yeah. I don't know if you equipped with the intestinal fortitude to go on the road against that Giants defense and win a game on the road. I don't know if you built like that. I don't know if you built for it tough. Your stadium is built for it tough. I don't know if you built for it tough. If I had money, I'd tell you what to do. I'd go downtown, buy a Ford truck or two. Crazy about a Ford truck. Man, I'm crazy about a Ford truck, but I ain't crazy about them damn Lions on the road on Monday night. Are you crazy? You think I'm going to pick the Lions on the road on Monday night versus that Giants defense? I don't give a damn how bad that Giants offense look. They're getting their best weapon back, and that defense is going to shut down that Lions offense. You thought I was going to pick the Lions? What? You need to wash your face. Get your mind right. Taking the Giants at the crib to bounce back from that horrible, horrendous performance on Sunday Night Football. Give me the Giants. So, let's recap these picks. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not confident in these picks at all. Not confident. Wouldn't be shocked if I sat in this same seat next week telling you that I went 8-8, 7-9. I'm just telling you, I'm warning you, I don't like these picks. And normally, I'm a guy that even when I don't like my picks, I like my picks. I don't like these picks. These are some tough games. But in true OG fashion, when there's a will, there's a way. Or is it where there's a will, there's a way? Either way, I'm getting it done. But I don't like these games. I don't like these picks. But let's go through these picks quickly. Thursday, Texans. Sunday, Ravens, Panthers, Cardinals, Titans, Chiefs, Patriots, Steelers, Bucks, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, Rams, Seahawks, Falcons, Giants. See how I did that at the end? All home teams. Too many road teams early on. You get burnt by road teams. Now, every now and again, the road teams jump up and bite that ass. They bite you in the ass. Okay? And this could be one of those weeks. I'm looking at 3 games that I didn't pick. The road team that they could easily win. Cowboys easily could go to Denver and win. Redskins easily could go to Los Angeles and win. Packers go to Atlanta and win. Lions could go to New York and win. Hell, the Dolphins could go to San Diego, Los Angeles, and win. Okay? A lot of tough games here. Bottom line is, you got to stick to the script. Money over funnies, man. Stick to the script. And some of these teams look like 5 funnies, and I don't deal with the funnies, man. Stick to the script. So, let's take a couple comments. I got about 11 minutes that I'm looking at, so I got some time for some comments. If you guys are out there and you got some comments, so fire away. See what we got. See what we got. And make sure, and I left, and I'll do this every single week, I left the link to where you leave your picks in the description box of this video. So If you don't know where to leave your picks, it's a big, all caps caption that says, leave your picks here. Click on the link. It'll take you directly where you need to go. You leave your picks there. And for those of you who are on mobile devices, and I get it, okay, a lot of you are in this tech age, haven't seen an actual desktop computer in about 6 years. You're always on your mobile devices, and you can't get to the discussion page. You have to turn on, because I know you're on your little YouTube mobile site. You have to go into the settings and you have to turn on request desktop site. And that will allow you to access the discussion portion of my page on YouTube. So in any event, let's get to some of these comments. Caden Boyer says, my man Sam Bradford better be on the winning side. He was on the winning side last week. He helped me get the double digits. I can't speak for y'all, but he helped me to get the double digits last week. Andrew Kim says, like the new format. I appreciate that. A little bit of a change up. And we're going to keep evolving here on this channel. You know how we do it, AK. You know how the family do it. PE says, this new format is sweet. Good. I'm glad you like it. AK says, let's go, LOL. Double digits escaped me too many times last year. It's not happening as much this season. Hey, my man AK was that 9-win dude. He was like the Jeff Fisher of this thing, man. Just couldn't get over the top. But he started out hot this year, man. So he's leading the charge right now. Caden Boyer says, 10-5 is still a good score. You're damn right it is. It's double digits, baby. That's what it's all about. Now, of course, 11-4 is better. 12-3 would have been even better. But 10-5, you'll take it, especially for week 1 when it's not easy. Week 2 is not going to be easy. Double digits is what it's about. You get an extra game, so you'll get an extra opportunity to get double digits. So take advantage of that. Black LB says, congrats on getting the upper room, fellas. You know how it is. Cats know how to get over there, man. Got to have 10 or better. Caden Boyer says, the big 7K, man, finally hit it. Feels good, but that's not the final resting place, man. That's not the final destination. We keep going, man. Trying to go to the top. 7 is solid. Solid! Solid as a rock. But it ain't where I want to stop. I'm trying to go to the top. So that's what I'm trying to take it. But I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for subscribing and supporting the movement. And then we just going to keep it moving. Caden Boyer says, how do I join or is it too? It's never too late, man. You're going to be slightly behind the 8 ball because you can't have as many wins and losses as everybody else. But you can get in on the fun every single week by just sending your picks to my channel on the discussion tab on the Louie T Network channel. You can do that by simply going into the discussion or the description box at the bottom of this video and clicking on the tab and leaving your picks there. Have to do it before the Thursday night game, and I will be checking this week. You know, week 1, you know how when you go to school, the first week of school, they kind of let you get away with stuff because it's the first week. You know, everybody's kind of late. Oh, you're not late. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Now it's week 2. You're not getting away with sending me your picks and trying to slide in your little Thursday night picks after the game has started. Either you're in before the Thursday night game gets underway or you're not. I'll be checking. Don't worry. I'll set that nice little border up for anybody trying to get in. I'm going to be blocking cats like the Kimbe Mutombo. Not in my house. Andrew Kim says, Ravens playing Browns is going to be close, man. Not going to lie to you. But going with the Dirty Birds, LOL. Kaiser won't see it coming. I think you're right. Man, we got so much injured. Kaiser got sacked 7 times from the Steelers. How many points you see us putting up on the Ravens? This coming from RG3 hashtag. He says, how many points do I see them scoring? I give them 10. I think they can get in the end zone once and also get a field goal. AK says, they are starting Watson. O'Brien announced it. I thought they would. I heard that he practiced with the first team today or yesterday, one of the two. I think it was today. He practiced with the first team today, so that kind of gave me a little bit of an inclination that he was going to get, and that's the right move. They were ready to start him anyway, and if they think their offensive line is that bad, especially without Dwayne Brown, who's holding out for a new contract, your left tackle struggling. We saw the results of that. They need someone that's mobile that can escape when things break down. I think Watson has to be the guy, and so it makes sense. Worst ever says, you ready for CJ2K's return to form? LOL. He ain't got no choice. He was good for them 2 years ago. Last year he dealt with injuries, but he was good for him a couple of years ago. Let's see if he can get back to that. But they got a ton of backs over there. They still got Kerwin Williams. I'm not a huge fan of Kerwin Williams. Ask Kerwin Williams. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't move the needle for me. CJ2K, of course. And then they still got my man Ellington, man. I always wonder, why does he only play in the fourth quarter? Is it just me, or does he just only play in the fourth quarter? Is he like some kind of closer or something? Like, why is Andre Ellie on the bench until the fourth quarter? Then I start seeing him a bunch. I don't know. I'll stop asking. Caden Boyer says, LF will run all over a mediocre Tennessee defense. He might. They only gave up 74 yards, I believe, to Marshawn Lynch, to beast mode. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We will see. If I'm Tennessee, the book's out on the Jags. All right. We know what the formula is. The formula is give it to Fournette 25 times or more and ask Blake Bortles to do as least as possible. So if I'm the Titans, 8 in the box, okay, stop Fournette. He should have 22 carries for 52 yards, and that's going to force Blake Bortles to have to throw it. And we've all seen how that ends. With no Allen Robinson, too, I think they can find a way to get that done. Cloud says, yeah, we serious. He's an Eagles fan. He says, key thing for us will be our receivers, how good our run game is and how well our pass rush does. Well, I don't think your run game's going to do very well. I don't think you're a really good rush football team, but your receivers have a chance to make some plays, and that Chiefs secondary can be had, and your pass rush is going to be paramount. So we'll see what those things do in helping you guys potentially get the win on the road versus the Chiefs. Patrick Covington Jr. says, do you see the Chiefs maybe making a trade before the deadline for a receiver? Because I don't see their current core of receivers cutting it. I don't think they're going to make a move. But I've never been impressed. That's why I didn't really love the move to get rid of Macklin, because he was the only true number one threat at receiver that you had. The rest of these guys all look the same to me. They're all number twos or number threes. Obviously, Tyreek Hill poses a unique threat on the football field as a receiver, as a back out of the backfield, as a gadget guy. He just poses a threat, and you have to know where he is at all times. That being said, though, as a true, pure pass-catching threat, your best receiver might be Chris Conley, I guess. Albert Wilson, dare I say? I mean, that's just not good enough. Like you said, I don't see that cutting it, but they find ways to make it work. Travis Kelce, obviously your best target, non-receiver target. You're going to have to, I think what they're going to have to do is work those tight ends. You have one of the most talented tight end groups in all of football in terms of pass catchers. I think that's what they're going to have to do, but we'll see. Falcons Fury says, we're going to be all right. Do you hear me, Lou? Do you feel me? Falcons going to be all right. He said, taking a dub Sunday. AR-12 ain't bad enough. He wasn't last year. We'll see if he's made the necessary adjustments along with the rest of his team to maybe make the outcome different. Squints1 says, over or under 20,000 fans for the Chargers home opener? It's a hell of a question. I'm going to take the, what does that stadium hold? Like 30,000? 30K, right? Something around there, 36 or 30, something like that. I'm going to take the over on that, man. It's the first game. I'm going to tell you what, though. L.A. be shitting on their team, straight up. That Rams game against the Colts, and I don't blame them. Rams weren't good last year. You got to give the fans a reason to come out and support. It's still L.A. though. I've always said L.A. isn't hurting for a franchise because they don't give a damn. But the reason the Rams game looked so bad from a optics standpoint was because they play in a Coliseum. It holds like 100,000 people, and I think it might have been 35, 40,000, and like half the stadium was empty. This is such a small stadium for the Chargers. They're gonna fill it up. I think they'll be fine. I'll take the over on that. Caden Boyer says Dallas at Denver will be interesting. Yes, it will. I'll be glued to my television set. He says, I say Dallas win, Caden Boyer says. We'll see. I hope you're wrong, because I didn't pick them. This isn't even coming from an NFC East standpoint. This is coming from, I didn't pick them. So I need them to not win, but we'll see what happens. Falcons Fury says, oh no, Lou, you ain't have to pick against your skins like that. They playing the Rams. I can still smell Jeff Fisher on them. Y'all can roll. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. And I'm not comfortable with the whole vibe I get right now. The Rams are confident. Look, this is one of those picks. I'm not going to lie to you. This is one of those reverse psychology picks. If we win, I'll take the L. I'll feel good about it. If we lose, I'll take a W in my picks. I'll be crushed because we'll be 0-2 and the season is going in the wrong direction. But I'll take some solace in knowing at least I won a game on my picks. So it's a win-win for me. I obviously much rather have the Redskins win and take the L, but I'm just not confident. And I'm not one of these homers that I'm going to pick my team every week, despite the fact that I know we probably might not win the game. And this is a realistic opportunity in this game that we don't go over to Los Angeles and get it done. So we'll see. So let me clear something up. My channel is accessible on a mobile device. The discussion tab, however, it's hard. It's almost impossible to get to YouTube's mobile device. Their mobile app doesn't allow you to get to the intricate details of someone's channel. They only allow you to basically peruse someone's videos and click on the video. They don't allow you to go through the entire tabs on the person's channel, like related channels or discussion or any of that stuff, okay? So you have to go and change it to desktop site on your mobile device. You can access it through your mobile device. You just have to do it by going to the settings tab, and that's those three little dots in the corner. You click on that in the top right-hand corner. You click on those three dots, and you go all the way to the bottom, and it's going to say Request Desktop Site. And then you hit that, and then you'll be able to pull up the discussions tab on my channel. RG3 hashtag says, why you just say the Seahawks just like that? I mean, the 49ers could be the Seahawks. Okay, you pick them then. Go right ahead. I dare you. Double dog dare you. Go ahead and pick them. Mo Chubby says, do you think Josh Gordon will be reinstated? And is he worth picking up and stashing in fantasy PPR? If you got a roster spot available, by all means, knock yourself out. But I don't think he's going to get reinstated. Raj does not like reinstating dudes. Now, I think the last time, I don't know if it was his doing or if Raj said, you're not ready to come back yet. But in any event, I'd stay away from him. Even if he were to come back, dude's damaged goods. He hasn't played meaningful football, and it seems like forever. I'd stay away from him. I don't think it's worth it. Falcons Fury says, yeah, Lou, I'm glad you ain't talking all that bad man mess this time around. Yeah, we got a guard problem, not a center, left guard, left tackle, right tackle problem. We not the Seahawks. He will roll. So, yeah, I'm not. He's a bad man. Don't get it twisted. He's a bad man. But I don't see him going on the road in the first game in the new stadium and getting it done. I just don't see that. So, yeah, I think you guys should be able to get it done. But don't get it twisted. He's definitely a bad man. Caden Boyer says Minnesota can definitely beat Pittsburgh. Yeah, they can. I told you, I'm not comfortable with these picks this week. It's a tough week. And BK Soldier 2010 says I think Jags can beat Titans, and I think he's a Jags fan. But you're right. The Jags, if they can duplicate and replicate what they did last week, they got a legitimate shot. Tyler Rodriguez says, don't be surprised if Von Miller is AFK Sunday. All I've been hearing from the Cowboys is how they're handling him. Look, they got to pay attention to him. He's a special specimen, and they're probably going to double him, chip him, all that stuff. They got other pass rushers, though. Shaq Barrett on the other side, he can win, too. And so Von Miller is definitely public enemy number one. You handle him, and you've got a much better shot at getting it done. But they also got some really good corners and safeties in Denver. And I'm anxious to see how this game goes because I think the Broncos are starting to figure some things out defensively. I think they can be run on, though. That's the one thing that has me a little nervous is I think Zeke can eat them. And so we'll see what happens. The Black L.A.B says, which rookie's performance has you thinking they can keep it going the rest of the season? It's a good question because I really haven't been paying a ton of attention because normally I do the rookie wall, which forces me to pay attention to the rookies. But the reason why I think Fournette's going to struggle is because teams are going to start loading up the box against him and taking him away. Like if I'm playing the Jags, that's what you got to do to them. You got to make Blake Bortles beat you. So I don't know if I see that trend continuing. You know who I do see continuing to play good football? Kareem Hunt. He's in a great offense. They're going to utilize him whether it's as a pass catcher out of the backfield or as a running back out of the backfield. He's going to get ample opportunities. I like Kareem Hunt, and I like him to continue playing good football moving forward. Andrew Kim says, they converted him to wide receiver apparently, Andre Ellington. Did they? I thought I saw him get a carry against Detroit. It's possible. Worst ever. Sergio Dip. Boy, was that horrible on ESPN. If you didn't watch that second game, man, you missed Sergio Dip and his sideline. One report, ESPN did not go back to him after that. I sat here laughing uncontrollably as he stammered and stuttered his way through that sideline report. It was horrible. And I told ESPN, hey, look, man, I'll take the chips. You keep the dip. I'm good. Caden Boyer says, not sure if you made a video on this, but you should discuss the Cousins franchise tag situation. It'll be interesting to see what happens to him after the season. I've already made plenty of videos on that. Check the archives. Long story short, I think he's going to go to San Francisco after the season, but we'll see. Patrick Covington Jr. says, put future hat on if Sam Bradford continues to play at this rate and it takes them to the playoff. Where do you see the front office going? Who do you keep, Bridgewater or Bradford? Look, it just depends on how good Bridgewater looks coming back from injury and how far Bradford takes them. Is he able to stay healthy himself? We know he's had an injury-marred career. And so if he's able to stay upright and perform, like you said, going with the premise that you've presented, he plays well, takes this team to the playoffs, deep into the playoffs. I think you have no choice but to stick with Sam Bradford. But Bridgewater is an interesting case because everyone in the organization loves him, and he didn't do anything wrong. If he comes back, he's healthy, and he performs well, he may get an opportunity. But right now, it's to me, it's Sam B's show, and it's his job to lose. RG3 hashtag says, never sleep on the belt. Rodgers will get them Falcons back. It's possible. I wouldn't put it past him. That's for sure. Buck Nation, hashtag Buck Nation says, Bucks roll big. We fresh and we looking for the route. Who y'all got? The Bears? It's possible. You fresh, that's for sure. Will you get the route? Don't sleep on them Bears. I told the Falcons that last week. You saw what happened. Don't sleep on them Bears. Dark Sealer 1995 says, Lou, how come when I go to the discussion tab, it won't let me type anything in, just view it? I don't know. I haven't had that problem, so I can't confirm or deny why that would be the case. All I can tell you to do is keep trying. And after this is over with, I will go and check it out and see if there's a problem. If it's not, I would tell you to just refresh your page. That's the one thing I could tell you to try. Falcons Fury says, the old reverse psychology pick. That's a classic. Do you remember last year when we all went below 500? Yeah, it was dark, cold, and stank. Not happening this year. I'm trying to stay away from that, man. I don't subscribe to going down there again, man. Like you said, it's dark and cold, and hell is hot sometimes. But it was dark and cold down there, and I don't want any parts of that. Squints1 says, do you like Anthony Lynn's mindset of running the ball? I think he needs to let Phillips sling the rock, which will then open up rushing lanes. You know, he's a running back guy at heart. He wants to run the football. I'm hoping that he makes the proper adjustments. If teams are loading up to stop the run and the proper rush lanes aren't there, you've always got number 17 you can rely on to throw the football. And he's got to realize that Phillip Rivers can still get it done at a very high level. And I think eventually he will realize that's my best bet, is to let Phillip Rivers do what it is he does. And then whatever happens is secondary to Phillip Rivers getting on track. So we'll see what happens. Falcons Fury says, AR-12 have burned us enough that I know how bad he is, but we Breaking Bad on our Walter White-ish. What's my name? If you don't watch Breaking Bad, you won't get it, LOL. I don't watch Breaking Bad, but I know what you're talking about. I know about the famous line. All right. Rams All Day 95 says, good game we will have in Sundays, bro. I hope, man. I hope it is a good game, and I hope my Skins find a way to win, but it's going to be a good game. I don't expect y'all to blow us out like you did the Colts last week, and I don't expect us to allow you to get away from us like we did the Eagles last week. I think it's going to be a close game, and I think it's going to be decided by one possession or less. So we'll see. And finally, Falcons Fury says, yeah, I was down there and saw Jeff Fisher, and of all people, hitting that cooked crack. Good old Jeff Fisher, man. Y'all leave Jeff alone, man. Jeff ain't even coaching nobody no more, man. Y'all let Jeff live. And with that being said, that's going to do it for winners and losers in week number 2 in the National Football League. I, of course, am your man, Louie T, continuing to hold it down. Whether it happens in the National Football League and it's big or small, we cover it all here on the Louie T Network. All we do is win here on Winners and Losers. We let the losers worry about losing. Send me those picks. Have them in before Thursday's game. If you don't make it, you can still send them. You'll just get an L for Thursday's game. And so, with that being said, I'll leave you with the video that I showed at the beginning in case you missed it. I was drunk off success. That led to 10-5. I'm sober this week. I'm looking for big things. I'm not confident in my picks, but I expect to find a way to get it done. That's what the good ones do. They find a way to get it done. I'll see y'all tomorrow, Thursday Night Football, overtime. Until then, I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. I'll see you next time.
That, my friends, is what you call getting drunk off your success. Shame on me. But don't worry, your man Louie T is back like cooked crack in week number 2. And guess what? I'm coming for every single one of you ass clowns. Better tighten up.